Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, a bunch of kind of like news stuff to just talk about drop at the moment. So we're going to go into what happened with that mailbox message. Where did it go? We're going to talk about Hydra Clash and how it's kind of like, I guess, panning out in its first foray, and its first kind of like battles between some of the top clans. And then we just got this drop as well here. Celebrate World Lizard Day. Sure they must have made that up. But celebrate World Lizard Day. And then there's some summoning stuff going on as well. So I guess maybe we'll start here. This has come out of nowhere, honestly. And there's a bunch of champions that are going to be on a 10 times today. As we know, we have a summoning event every single minute of every day nowadays on Raid. So this is what they're throwing in. For non-voids, for epics, we've got Jareg, Venomage, and Aox. I mean, Venomage and Aox are two great epics. And Jareg is decent in Clan Boss for kind of like early accounts. And then for the legendaries, you've got Dracomorph, who's like pretty top tier. Necmo. Oh, man, Necmo's in there. Oh, Necmo's probably my most wanted champion right now. But mainly for Hydra. And, you know, when we go and talk about Hydra Clash in a minute, maybe Necmo is no longer needed. Could be the words that I say, because Hydra is just gone to new realms of silliness, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then Fushan is the other one in the kind of non-void. So, I mean, they're a good group, right? They're a good group of champions. And then for void, you've got Scathix, who's actually being used alongside Emic in some unkillable teams as kind of like budget unkillables, which is quite interesting. And then you've got Sulfurion, who is the new void legendary, who is basically top tier. Again, top tier for Hydra, I would say. And are people going to be running him in Hydra after we see some of the silliness that's going on? So this is going on right now. I guess let's skip into Hydra. Let's talk about Hydra next. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. I don't know how I feel about it. So Hydra Clash is on. My clan, the Pandas, are kind of like, we said at the outset, let's hold fire and see what we're up against. Because we got time. Yeah, there's days to do this. So, you know, a few of the guys kind of went in there and did it early, got some decent damage away with their better teams. But most of us had held off. In fact, it looks like most people are actually starting to come in now. But when we look at Hydra Clash, look at the levels of damage that is being done here by the teams. 130 million by the top team here. 102 million. Like, you compare this to then the next level down, and they've used a similar number of keys. They've got a third of the damage in Gods and Legends. And Gallifrey, less than that as well. We've used about half the amount of keys, but we're nowhere, like, if we go on our current run rate, we're nowhere near these top guys. So it's like, what's going on? Basically, people are building out versions of the same team. In fact, I've not seen this, though. What is this? What is this team? Oh, this is over 3 keys, so I'm not seeing all of the keys there. No, this is the team I was looking for. So people are building out the Cadaver World Record Clan Boss team, but they're now building it in Hydra with levels of damage, which is just absolutely absurd. Yeah, so we've got here 43964 million, whatever that number is. I don't even know what number corresponds to nowadays. And the thing is, this is against Nightmare. It's not even like we're saying this is against like normal. This level of damage is crazy. And I'll show you another example of it here. So this at one point was the new world record. I'm guessing what we're just seeing here is this like way more? This number's way more, right? Am I going like insane? Is that number not crazy amounts more? Oh, that's with the multiplier. Okay. I was like, what the hell is that number? But yeah, anyway, so he's hit like the 10 to 11 billion here. And, you know, the world record currently sits at 13 billion. Or maybe Victor Tez might have done even more than this now. It's crazy. So what's going on here? One of his champions, if not more, looking at this, probably more, are in cursed gear, putting out the Hex. Okay, so we've got Hex going out there. You've got the old school world record Corpulent Cadaver team going in with buff extenders. So we've got shields being extended forever from Brogni. And then Corpulent Cadaver is KOing the heads here for silly numbers. We're talking, this is Nightmare. For silly numbers. And because we've now got Hex in the mix as well, that damage is being spread to all of the heads. So in a pretty crazy amount of time, all of the heads are just dying. And I mean, Corpulent Cadaver is just coming in doing billions and billions of damage. Lydia also is doing billions of damage here because she is the one with the Hex. Yeah, so you get the Hex damage on the Hex champion. I don't know how I feel about it. And there's like more budget versions of this team. So without the double Yumiko here, 1.5. Yeah, just single Yumiko, similar idea. Yang, who is another content creator, has built a version. This is not fight. This is fighting hard, I think, rather than Nightmare. But built a version which, again, is doing like silly damage. So really, if you're not building this team, the Infinity team for Hydra, then your clan will not compete at a higher level. I actually feel like it's going to be more fun, the Hydra clash, at lower level clans where they don't have all this. Yeah, they're not all the Krakens, the whales, and everyone's just going to be fighting with the teams that they've got. I think that's more fun to me. Because when you start to just see everyone, I don't know, when you see everyone running the same team, is it fun? I don't know. Obviously, the min-maxing, I do totally appreciate the min-maxing side of this. Like, I feel like it is very cool, and hats off to anyone who kind of, has got to this level. Like, it is insane. I've not tried it yet. I don't have Yumiko, so I can't go for the big boy one, but I could build the next one down and see what I can do. But I don't know if I feel like it's good for the game. And honestly, I believe it will be nerfed. I believe that it will. We've not been told that. I've asked a question. I don't really want to throw a load of resources and time into building a team that is just going to be nerfed into the ground. So I've been holding fire, but we're running out of time. It is only one of the first ones, and if we don't get a top 3, maybe we just don't get a top 3. But I don't know how I feel about it. So I guess comment below, do you think it's a good thing for the game or a bad thing for the game if those type of teams are allowed to continue? Okay, last thing I want to talk about here is the missing Wukong, right? So a load of us had a mailbox message which had a countdown. I had my editor on Friday. I was like, you need to be around for I think it was like 5 p.m. my time on Friday. Something big is going to drop, okay? And I was like, I'm ready. And I've got to say, I was like singing Raid's praises on this one. It was like they gave us a few snippets to the content creators, and it was like, something's coming. Have a guess, see what you think it is. Then suddenly we get this mysterious message in game, and it's like, damn, they are doing this really well. In my opinion, it was like excitement was up. People were asking me in streams, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know, but I've got some ideas. Like, it was done well, okay? When that timer ran out, this then dropped on socials for Raid, but nothing happened in game. And so I'll tell you what I think is going down. Wukong here is joining Raid. It's clear. Like, we've got images of him. He's got the kind of items that we saw from the initial peaks. Yeah, in terms of the bracelet, in terms of the... it turns out is his staff, his belt, all of that stuff. All the stuff that we saw is now here. So this is definitely the warrior who is promised. I definitely believe it's going to be a new login champion, a login legendary that we can all obtain. That's what I believe, but nothing official yet. Okay, and I thought when this timer dropped, that's when it was going to come. Turns out that's still just part of the pre-vibe, right? It's still just like trying to warm us up. They went too much. It should have just been at the end of that timer. It should have just been bam. Now it's dropping. But what's happened is everyone's built right up and then everyone's lowering down because it's kind of like, oh, it was a non-event. I think the timer was literally just there, similar to what we get with these timers, right? When this timer goes away, the message disappears. That's all it was. Nothing else than that, which is nuts. That's what they decided to do. But I believe we're going to get a new legendary login champion. But I don't know the exact date of when it's going to come. Obviously, when I get more info, I'll give it to you. But yeah, weird happenings from Raid. Anyway, there you go, guys. Hopefully that's caught you up. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.